in the library, we do not have laptops, so make sure you have iPad. Hopefully you have a keyboard that's going to be able to help you with it. What's up at the top there?
Who's that at?
I went on to my laptop.
All right, so once you get into Noodle Tools, go to Login. So if you're on the iPad, it says Menu. If you hit the lines, Login will be down at the bottom. Go to Login. Your login information for Noodle Tools is different than what you use for Gmail and all that stuff. Login, just keep them away now so that we can get focused with it. Your login information here, I'll log out so that we can see what the screen's going to look like. And some of you are going to have to go through a couple steps for it. It is the first 4 letters of your last name, first 3 letters of your first name, graduation year. So, if I'm Cesare, since she's not here, first 4 letters of last name, first 3 letters of first name, and then your year of graduation. So for you folks, it's going to be 21. Your password is then NHSD, NHSD. Now, for a lot of you, and let me go over a couple things. For a lot of you, it's going to take you to this menu where it lets you log in, but it's now asking that you need to revalidate. If you need to revalidate for both the library username and the password, it's going to be NHLIB, as in North Hills Library. Some of you, it might be saying that username password does not exist. If that is the case, then we are going to create one.
Wait, can you slow it down? I still want to sign in.
It says my password.
Hold on.
What's the password?
NHSD, NHSD. So if you log in and it's not letting you log in, what you have to do then is you need to register. So Connor, if it's not letting you get in, you're going to register. So at the sign-in screen, rather than where the sign-in is, you're going to go down here to register. And you're not going to be the only person.
If we
NH.
had an account, is it the
Well, we're going to find out if you already have an account here in a second.
I know I do, because I remember Miss Miller making.
Some of them, though, like Maddie had one before, at least we thought, and it wasn't working, so we created a new one for her yesterday. Brennan, the password, the general password for everyone that we would be putting in right here should be NHSD, NHSD. If you have to register account, and then Evan, I'm going to be right over to see you. If you have to register or create a new account, you would go to register. The first thing that you would want to do here is it's going to ask for your school library username and password. That's going to be this same one here, NHLIB, NHLIB. So whether you have to revalidate or you have to create a new account, you're going to be typing in NHLIB. Then it's going to ask you about student library person. Connor, if you go to check your availability, you would put in your personal ID. I can check availability. It's available, so you're whatever, for some reason, that account just didn't get created. So just go about creating a new one. So you're going to be a student. You'll be at North Hills Senior High. I would make your, you got your expected year graduation. I would make your password NHSD, NHSD, just like everyone else's, so that it's going to be pretty simple for us. So first 4 letters of your last name. And then first 3 of your first name. Yeah. Yeah. 21.
5.
NHSD, NHSD.
Oh, that was.
Dang.
So now this is where you put in that
How
NHLI.
you go to the library? The first day? You just like just go to the comments or like.
So yeah, Connor, yours will look like this. Okay.
This is awesome to read.
Yeah, you come over right. Tommy in.
Yeah.
Gavin, you're in. You're in. Oh, or, yeah.
Should I take the pass?
Pardon?
Okay, right.
Okay, so you're good though. Emily, you. have to register, but you know where to go.
I
Or-
did that too.
Nate, you're in.
What?
We're in.
We're in.
So it would be like per load law.
What's it? What's for the North Coast?
You know, there's a 100
Oh.
Max
told me about it. I think one would have been 140 now. So
Dylan, that's very mean.
Is he actually alive?
What?
Oh, yeah, you gotta take her.
No, if I was 120 years, I wouldn't have anything better to do with my time. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
I don't know.
Where your boyfriend?
Hey,
Where
your boyfriend?
I'd rather be dead.
You have calling me again. I have to
Hey,
go.
Mom.
I don't have it.
Where you at?
This wasn't mine. Alright. Time out.
Yay.
Oh, don't worry, you're not able to get on the website. Really? Just a bunch of like weird like.
Well, no.
He kind of looks like him.
Are you laying on the ground?
Yeah, face down.
You're laying face down on the ground.
Like in the
That-
shop.
Some gigantic dude did that. They're gonna it just set him down.
You know what's funny?
Well,
Yeah, I pretty much did.
he
That's
like,
6 foot.
he has to slouch just to get on through the building.
He's like,
Yeah. He actually does that.
it's like,
He came from the
Wait, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, they could have done something.
yeah, that's
I mean, this isn't, like, this isn't real, but they.
Get ahead.
I'm gonna,
Like I'm just one long half. How do you stop it?
I was scared. I'm actually, Shakespeare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm actually more it's like, you're Tommy Abraham,
Yeah.
Jack, you're in.
Yeah.
Justice, you got in yesterday.
Yeah, I'm in. Why is there a picture of a banana?
Anytime.
He's like, yeah, I'm in. It says coffee.
Boiled bananas. Someone did that. You're like,
I read the title of it.
pizza countries.
Hey, fine.
It's just 'cause you had a Brendan, you're in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Connor, you're good to go? All right, so. All right, now, so everyone is at a main page here. What we're going to do, up here at the top, it has new project in green. We are going to go to new project. So you're hitting the green where the plus sign is. It's going to be new project. It's going to bring up this little menu. Project title, I would just type F, capital F, 451, research.
Just shut down. Just said shutting down.
Watch what we're doing.
Do I have to click the styles?
So for citation style, it is MLA and advanced. Okay, this is critical that you do hit MLA and you hit advanced because it'll change your citations, which will mess up your works cited page.
I don't think I had that. I just clicked new project, right?
Yes.
I clicked something that said.
And then you would hit submit and it should be creating a new project for you.
He was like, yeah, wrong.
That's going to take you to this page here.
Research questions.
Stay at this page then once you get there. Don't go into sources because we got another step that we're going to do.
Hypothesis. What are you looking
No,
You're right. That's very rude.
I wonder if you're in
at? Yes.
You just wanted to skip something.
Josh is like, yes.
because you're in. Is anyone else getting the same thing that Nate's getting where it just says new project?
No, I'm.
Because you're not registered to
Well,
that.
that's so real. Phrase on this.
You're in a
I dropped my pencil. I'll go over and get it.
Jack did all that. Hey, dude.
Hey, go out right there. Huh?
Hey, yo, mom. Good, man. Yes.
Hey, go your man right there.
That way you do it. Yeah. You gotta do it.
I broke his fence.
Dang. Dude, that pizza was really good.
Well, I actually broke it before.
I'm trying to steal my cookie roll.
So crack them, and then the same thing I did when I won.
Oh yeah, I put a real nice point in there for you.
Oh.
I put a real nice point.
It's like I gotta write with it and just a couple pencils.
It's like here.
It's like right up the middle. It's like I can't handle this.
All right, now in this page, not where you have project details, but if you go to the middle area where it says sharing and collaboration, you are going to share with a project inbox. So you have project details menu, sharing and collaboration, a to-do list. You are under sharing and collaboration, and then you are going to this share with a project inbox. When you click share with project inbox, it's going to ask you for project inbox. If you start typing in English 10, it's not going to show up on mine. But if you start typing in English 10, you should see our class pop up. It'll say English 10 451 research paper. That's what you are sharing. You don't have to worry about sharing a paper down here. Then make sure you do type in your full name down below. So start to type in English 10. Might take a little bit. It'll say English 10 F451 research paper. Then you're going to type in your name down below. You can check the share paper. It really honestly makes no difference if you check that or not. What you're doing is you're now sharing your project with me. By Wednesday of next week, you're supposed to have your preliminary bibliography done. Your preliminary bibliography, you're not printing out, you're not sending it to me via email. I just go in through NoodleTools and I check to see that you have everything there. So it simplifies assignment-wise what you need to do. So the sharing the paper makes no difference to me at this point. So right now I got Logan's, I have Nate Brackman, Connor, we got Evan, we got Emily, we have Amy's, we have Brendan, we have Nate Belak, we got Josh, we have Mia.
And we got Big Bill.
Big Bill. He's kind of a
Straight D.
big deal.
Oh, and now we're up to more.
Yeah,
Looks like we got
straight
16.
D. Straight D's on.
He's kind of a big deal.
Straight D 17.
Yes.
A1 straight.
Yep, Maddie, I got you.
Ever since like third grade,
All right, now, in your project, go to sources up here. Dylan, we're good. Top of your project, you're going to sources. Underneath where it says 451 research, you're going to create a new citation. All of you have one source at this point.
It's the book.
Your book. So when it says to create new citation, gives you these six options up here at the top. You're going to print or in hand, because we have a print copy of the book. Then if you go into the little gray area, the third option in that gray part of the menu says book. You're going to click on the book. At the top of the page, you see this option here for Quick Cite. If you scroll over by Quick Cite, you have import. It says ISBN. In this box here, in this search box next to ISBN, we're going to put in the book's ISBN number. And I'll just type it in for you so that you can see it. You don't have to worry about dashes or anything like that. So we got 978 14516 73319. So 978-145-167-3319, and then you hit the button search. What happens then, it tells you Fahrenheit 451. Now, you do need to click on it so that it kind of like puts it in this ugly green shade. Well, but make sure you click on it, or yours might be gray. I don't know. But you want to click on it so that it goes from gray to kind of like this greenish color. Then you have to scroll up, make sure you hit import selected source. If I import selected source, now it gives me, the author, Ray Bradbury, and I'll hit continue once all this stuff goes in. Nate?
I was just trying.
Okay. So then you would hit continue after it shows you Bradbury, and you would have like this information here filled out at this point. We don't have to add anything to this. Scroll down to the bottom. I got two options here in green. I have save and I have save and add annotation. We're always going to hit save and add annotation.
What's that annotation?
That's a good question.
I bet you can tell us.
So it brings up this text box. Now we are hitting source or typing in source number 1. And then I hit save and close. Source number 1. So when I go back now to my project, it should say book. I have the citation there, and it should say source number 1 underneath.
Oh, wait. Mine says it. What do we put for that?
Source number 1.
What? Oh.
You hit save and annotation, add annotation, and then it's going to bring up the text box. And there you just type in source number. Source number. When we start looking at all the databases next week on Monday and Tuesday, when you find sources, you have to make sure you put a source number. So not to sound stupid, but the next source that you find, you're going to add an annotation. It's going to say source number 2. The requirement is that you're going to have at least 11. Besides the book, you're going to be finding 10 more sources in the library Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That doesn't mean that all 11 sources are going to be making it into your paper, but what it means is you have at least 10 sources besides the book to start with. The source numbers are critical because when we start doing our note cards, at the top of each note card, you're going to be writing a 1 or a 2 or a 3. So if I'm taking a note card and I'm getting it from Fahrenheit 451, I'm just going to put number 1 in the top corner. That lets me know which source I'm using, instead of you writing out book titles, authors, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have your preliminary bibliography and you don't have source numbers, A, you're going to lose some points when it comes to me putting them into the grade book, and 2, you're going to have to go back and add them anyway in order for you to be able to do your note cards appropriately and properly.
Do the sources have to be in alphabetical order?
They will automatically go in alphabetical order on here, the source numbers don't. So like, say you end up having a source that's like atoms that'll be listed above it. Atoms could be number 7 and that doesn't matter. But it'll keep them all in alphabetical order on here. So when you do your works cited page, yes, but it's not that you have to switch them around to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or anything like that. Tyler. Let me show one thing here and then be able to. All right, so does everyone have Fahrenheit 451 in there? Okay. Keep Noodle Tools open. Go back to Google Classroom. And I know those of you that we were kind of going over this yesterday, you kind of saw this before. I want you to click then the library link, and I also want you to hit the library database password link. So you're going to have a couple different windows open. So I'm hitting this library link, and then I'm also hitting the library database password link. So when we go to the library on Monday, you're going to have iPad. You're going to go to Google Classroom. We're going to go right here where we've been. You're going to hit that library link. You're going to hit the library password link. The library is where we're going to be taking a look at some databases. The library password link is a link to a Google Doc. This is important because whether you're at school or whether you're at home, you are sometimes going to need access to these passwords and usernames. The one that we're going to be using initially is going to be SIRS. So you want to have this one open. I don't know if me highlighting it makes it highlight for you. But this will be the one that we're going to be using initially where it says PL2591H and LUPSOAG. So in library, I'm going to SIRS. SIRS has this little rectangle with SIRS written in blue. It says SIRS Knowledge Researcher. It's on the second row, fourth one in. That's going to ask me for my username and password. That's where I'm taking from the Google Doc. The customer number that's PL2591H and then LUPSOAG. Tyler, once you get yourself logged into SIRS, you can go use restroom then. So PL2591H up here on the board. Password LUPSOAG. Lupsag.
What is that? Why is that our password?
I have no idea. Can't tell you.
I'm gonna save that.
And then once you get logged in, it's going to take you to this page. Once you get in then here to SIRS, we're going to this View All Issues button. So right above, for me, it says electronic cigarettes. Right above the e-cigarettes, there's View All Issues. I'm going to hit View All Issues. What this does, all our topics are in alphabetical order we now have. So whichever topic you're looking at,
My iPad is like not working.
I'll come over here in a second. Logan, you were doing what? Video game addiction? So if Logan hits on V, his topic is going to be there, video game addiction. So look up your topic, make sure it's there, and then once you get there, click on what that topic is.
This has been here for like 5 minutes.
View all issues. Go look at the sheet. How'd you get there? View all issues. Got it. Listen, I listening instead of wait, you the under house. Don't matter. These don't tell me these don't.
That's not even real. Are you gonna be in this Look, there's so many of it.
So many mythologies.
Oh, here, this is the
Abortion funding. It's like, yeah,
It was just working.
artificial drug legalization. Whoa,
That's a good one.
Whoa.
We can have one of that either.
brought Logan
You guys come.
Very big
You
runner.
gotta figure these out.
So you can kind of see what's going on. So I found my topic. So I'm looking at justices here with music lyrics. Notice then the research question that you looked at is already here, or at least that you were considering. So for hers, are the lyrics of popular music harmful to children's development? Remember, the position that you are doing, you need to answer that question. So you would go, yes, they are harmful to children's development. No, there's no correlation between child development and music lyrics, or some other kind of question topic that you're looking at. Notice I said that you need to get at least 10 sources besides Fahrenheit 451. Already, I have 6 potential sources right here with viewpoint 1. Much of the pop music available to children is offensive, misogynistic, and vulgar. Here's 3 sources that are going along with that. Viewpoint 2, much of the pop music available to children has elements of creativity and positivity. I got 3 arguments there. Even if, Justice, do you know which side were you looking at? Were you saying that it was harmful to children's development?
Yes.
Okay. So even though, she's definitely going to be taking a look at these 3 sources. She would still want to take a look at the other viewpoint, because remember, one of your body paragraphs is going to be a counter argument. So she still wants to look to see what are other people arguing, so that she'll be able to explain why she wants to dismiss that overall viewpoint. You are not limited to these first 6 sources, though, because if you go down below, you're still going to see more sources that are available. It will break it down to you for newspapers, magazines, government documents, different kind of forms of media, statistics. So there are sometimes podcasts available, videos and things like that you can look at. So there are a ton of sources that are already available. You're not going to make all of your sources coming from SIRS, but you can certainly at least see where some potential sources could come from. The common question that a lot of folks were dealing with when it came to your research planner was, I don't necessarily know what I want to use for additional search terms. If you click on one of your sources, so I'm just picking the first one here, in this little green menu down at the bottom, it says See Related Subjects. These could be other topics that you end up looking at. Some of them might be helpful, some of them maybe not, but it gives you subjects that at least kind of fall in with that article. At the bottom, notice it also gives you citation. So on Monday, we'll show you how to export this into NoodleBib. But your citation information is here, and then you got all these articles that you'll be able to access. So we'll start with SIRS on Monday, but we should not have any issues getting to it. You're just simply going to go to Google Classroom, open up the links, and go right into SIRS right from the get-go. The big thing that you have to keep track of is when we start putting these sources into NoodleBib, make sure the next source that you put in is going to be source number 2, and then source number 3, source number 4. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're just trying to accumulate as many sources as you can, and then we'll use those for start with the research. Say you find 12 sources for Wednesday, you're good to go. Brendan finds another source next week or the week after when we're doing research. You can always add more sources to it. It's not that you're going to be stuck with those 10, 11, 12 that you find, but you can always end up adding more sources. You can email your sources to you. You can save them to Google Drive so that if you want to go back to them, you don't necessarily have to look them up through the database. You can already have copies of them available for you. All right? So everyone, we got our NoodleBib set up. Kara, were you here when we shared with the project? Were you able to share your NoodleBib project with the inbox?
No.
Okay, I'll come over and see you for that.